What's up, everybody? Once again, check out my longer form video that I just posted. But I just want to say this. I want this to be standalone content. Do not take investment advice from celebrities. Okay? Do not take investment advice from somebody who is just selling you products without knowing your situation. And I say this specifically to the Black community because a lot of times we love to see our people in spaces like real estate and financial advising and in different areas in the financial sector because, historically we have not felt like those spaces have been for us. However, it is important for those of us who are occupying those spaces, I'm a financial advisor, to occupy those spaces with integrity. Have conviction that you're going to do right by people. I'm going to do right by people because I work too hard for my licenses, and this is a heavily regulated industry. But do right by people out of the goodness of your heart because it will come back on you in a positive way. But also, we have a history of being betrayed. And so the last people that we like to see betraying us is our own people. So please, if you are occupying spaces, people of color, Black people, specifically foundational Black Americans, please, please, please occupy those spaces with integrity. Do not be out there scamming people. Do not be scamming your people. Don't be scamming any people. We have to be a face of integrity in these spaces that we occupy. And I've been hearing a crap ton. I've been looking at a lot of these YouTube videos, people calling out these scammers, these credit repair people, these real estate people who have just sucker bought people into making investments that their personal situation probably would not have called for them to make at that time. And that is why, the one way you can protect yourself from somebody who possibly could be scamming you is to just think about what they're saying to you, right? Are they willing to sell you something without understanding if you are in a position to buy it or not? And especially when it comes to investments, right? Do they care that you are in a position to buy and be invested in the capacity that they want you to? Do they care about that? Or are they just looking to get your money? And those things matter. And it matters a lot. And I'll give you an example. I was networking and I was talking to a young lady. She worked at her family's business and she was a single mom. She had 2 kids. One had autism, and she was telling me about, this guy at her dad's church who sold financial products. And he told her to get a Roth IRA and start funding a Roth IRA. Well, that would be good advice if she had the liquidity to do what he was suggesting that she did. And essentially, he had her funding the Roth, but she was operating at a loss in her home. So, he was just looking to sell a product to this woman. He didn't care that she had very limited liquidity. She has no liquidity in her household. No liquidity in her household. She had, 2 children. One of them, was at risk with a condition that, needed her attention and a lot of times her money, right? And so the last thing she needed to do was to lock up her money in a retirement vehicle that she would get a tax hit on if she were to need that money and liquidate it. But again, if the guy knew her total situation, he would not, and he cared about what was in her best interest, he would not have sold her that product, especially because she was funding a 401k. And this is to just say that, I told her, I'm not your financial advisor, but you need all the liquidity you need in your home. And if it is a strain for you to fund something that you could absolutely start funding when you're in a position to do that down the road, I would definitely not do that. I would stop funding it and keep that money in your household for you and those babies. And she was like, yeah, I've been thinking about that. I'm like, yeah. Well, I'm glad you've been thinking about it. I would be thinking about that too. And she thanked me because, here's the thing. If you only know what you know, and if you have somebody who says that they are an expert at something, then, you're going to trust what they say, right? But you have to credential people, right? Credentialing is important. And I'm not saying profile people by how long they've been doing something all the time, because I think that fresh blood, industry changes, a lot of new talent coming into a lot of these industries are coming in where the regulations have changed several times over. And so they are being programmed and conditioned to do their job with these newer regulations. And obviously they understand how, with social media, they can leverage information and just do a lot of stuff that I feel like, I think that experienced advisors, can leverage newer advisors to these days. Or professionals in general, just to kind of understand how to navigate the social space. But that's off of that. I didn't want to make this too long, but I just wanted to make people aware that if they are not your financial advisor, if they have not looked at your personal situation in detail to understand if you are in a position to make a decision, don't take the risk. Don't take the risk, because there are a lot of scammers out there. And unfortunately, Black people, a lot of them are in our community, and a lot of them have zero problem getting over on us. So that's just my 2 cents on some of the scams that we've been seeing from some of our faces or front faces in our community and representatives of our community, if you will, even though I think DJ Envy is Hispanic. But off that, just watch yourself, watch your back. And, if you have a trusted advisor or somebody that you can go to ask questions and to sort of vet people, do that. It's always going to be in your best interest. So have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye.